Hello students, today we are going to learn the poem Wind in your class 9 NCERT reader. It's written by Subramania Bharati, a renowned Tamil writer, poet, journalist and a social reformer, hailed as the pioneer of modern Tamil poetry. The poem Wind is taken from his works Vasana Kavidai. The poem, basically written in Tamil, was translated by A.K. Ramanujan, an Indian poet, scholar, translator, and playwright. He occupies a unique position among practitioners of translation. Here is the poem. Wind, come softly. Don't break the shutters of the windows. Don't scatter the papers. Don't throw down the books on the shelf. There, look what you did. You threw them all down. You tore the pages of the books. You brought rain again. You're very clever at poking fun at weaklings. Frail crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. He won't do what you tell him. So come, let's build strong homes. Let's join the doors firmly. Practice to firm the body. Make the heart steadfast. Do this, and the wind will be friends with us. The wind blows out weak fires. He makes strong fires roar and flourish. His friendship is good. We praise him every day. You would have noticed that the poem is written as a single stanza without any particular rhyme scheme. It's written in free verse. For the convenience of our understanding, we will split it up into 3 parts. In the first 4 lines, the poet makes an appeal to the wind. He is treating the wind like a person. We call this figure of speech as personification. The poet asks the wind not to break down the shutters of the windows, not to scatter the papers in his room, or to throw down the books from his shelf. They are very important to him and he cannot afford to lose them. The poet is asking the wind for protection. Did the wind pay heed to his request? No, not at all. Now the poet takes on an accusatory tone. He gestures towards the mess in his room and tells the wind that it's he who is responsible for throwing all the books down from the shelf. He has used his force to tear the pages of those books as well. The poet also accuses the wind of having brought rain while approaching near his house. So apart from personification, the poet has also made use of anaphora. It's a poetic device where a word or phrase is repeated at the start of 2 or more consecutive lines. Here the word don't is repeated in lines 2, 3 and 4. And the word you is also getting repeated in lines 6, 7 and 8. The poet's tone has once again undergone a change. While it's still accusatory, it has also become somber to some extent. The poet tells the wind that he makes mischief whenever he comes face to face with anyone who is too meek and mild to protest against his actions. The wind can tear down the doors, the rafters, or entire wooden houses altogether, leaving people without a roof over their heads or walls to keep them sheltered from the harsh world outside. The poet says that the wind can tear down weak bodies and fragile hearts. Here the word crumbling is repeated many times to lay emphasis. The poet wants to say that the wind crushes everything that's weak. The poet has made use of symbolism. It's a literary device that uses symbols, which could be words, peoples, marks, locations, or abstract ideas, to represent something beyond the literal meaning. Do you remember the symbolism used in the poem The Road Not Taken? 2 roads diverged. So the two roads were symbols of choices that we make or decisions that we have to take in our life. Here, Subramania Bharati is using the destructive power of wind as a symbol for the adversities or hardships or struggles that we face in our life, which distract and shatter us completely. The poet compares the wind god to a winnower. The poet addresses the wind like God because he has got superpowers with him. He is then comparing him to a winnower. Just like the winnower separates the chaff from the grain, the wind god separates the weak from the strong. Now coming to the last part of the poetry. In these lines, the poet stops speaking to the wind and starts speaking to his readers. He tells his reader that the wind does not listen to anybody. He says that we should build our homes on a strong foundation and ensure that our doors cannot be easily penetrated in order to save ourselves from the wind. The poet also outlines some other ways in which his readers can save themselves from the wind. He says that we must be strong physically and mentally, and we must train our body and our heart to fight against the ill effects of the wind. The poet thinks that by doing so, we can befriend the wind. He explains how the wind can blow out a fire if it's blowing with a weaker force. However, if the fire is burning strongly, then the wind will not blow it out but make it fiercer. He concludes by saying that if we are strong, then the wind is a good friend for us to have, for he'll increase our strength. He also says that we should sing our devotion to the wind god on a daily basis. So, my dear students, the poem teaches us a great lesson. In our life, we face hardships. If we are too weak to challenge them, they tend to overpower us. We should learn to transform the adversities into opportunities, just like the poet who learns to befriend the wind. I believe the explanation helped you in understanding the poem clearly, and you were able to get the answers, all the appreciation questions that popped up in every slide. Thank you.